Hey, what's up guys? So Sean here, back with another video. Today we have hiked back out to the little creek that I found. If you are a patron, you'll see that the other day we had kind of a scary encounter with a wild boar out here. I found this spot the other day when I was kind of hiking around on a lunch break and looking for a place for us to camp. So being that I don't really know the area, it's not a designated campsite, I kind of wanted to just come out today and do just a day camp, cook a little breakfast, hang out here by the creek for a little while, just kind of see what happens. Again, I didn't bring my pistol today because there's no posted signs, but I'm still not 100% sure, so I would rather not have my pistol with me, because if for whatever reason I would much rather have a trespassing charge than an armed trespassing charge. So today, just for my protection, I brought the tomahawk. I've also got my Condor bush lore. We're going to go ahead and get set up here. I brought my hammock. I don't think I'm going to use it. I thought I would, but I don't think I'm going to. I brought my chair. As you've seen, I normally wouldn't hike in with that chair. But it's not a super long hike. It's about a half a mile or so back up in here. So I brought my chair with me. I'm going to set that up. We're going to cook us some breakfast and kind of just hang out here and enjoy this creek for a little while. So stick around. So like always, the first thing we're going to do is put some coffee on. So I brought with me a few bottles of water, or a couple of bottles of water. I could have easily filtered this water, but I don't really need to do that. It's a short hike. I can bring in a little bit of water. So I'm going to make us a cup of coffee to start with. And after that, we're going to see if we can actually cook us some breakfast on this Sterno stove. Now, a lot of you have already watched the video on how I made this Sterno stove. I said it wasn't all that durable to be able to, put in a backpack or something like that. But for a day hike like this, with a really light backpack, it's fine. Seemed to work okay anyway, we'll see. So I'm gonna get the coffee on. I think I'm gonna hang out here for a little while and that didn't work, that sucked. So, gotta try this again. Guess it's pretty important to make sure your Sterno stove is set up good and level. Take two. Now I'm glad I brought that other water bottle. Plus I do have my water filter in here if I need it, but I'm not gonna need it. But that kind of sucks. In a regular camping situation, that was almost half of this bottle of water. That would have kind of sucked. So take two. Let's try this again. It's real, guys. It's real. It happens. Set it back down here very gingerly. Voila. Okay, so I think I'm going to sit here, let this coffee cook, and I might listen to my audiobook a little bit. I've been listening to One Man's Wilderness. It's a Dick Prenneke story. It's about his life in the Alaskan bush and how he built his cabin, and he lived out there for years and years and years. So if you get a chance, I would go on YouTube, watch the videos from Dick Prenneke, and this audiobook, One Man's Wilderness, has been great. So I'm going to sit here, I'm going to let this coffee cook, and I'm going to enjoy my audiobook right here by the creek. Pretty good morning. I wanted to tell you guys about something real quick. I know a lot of you guys already know, and I don't want to harp on it, but a lot of people have asked how they can support the channel. So I created a Patreon link, a Patreon account. The link is in the description below. If you want to help out, support the channel, we've just got a $5 tier, so it's $5 a month. You can, cancel at any time. So if you want to help out the channel, you can go down. There's a link below for our Patreon. If you join the Patreon, we have a private Facebook group you can get into called the Wild Bunch. So that's pretty cool. Got 2 patrons already, which I really appreciate. I'd like to shout them out right now. So our first patron, our very first patron, was William Fletcher. I really appreciate it, man. And then Greg Barton also donated to the patron and joined the account, so he's part of the Wild Bunch. And I really appreciate you guys joining. I really do. It's going to help out the channel a ton. So as you guys know, I've already told you about the P.O. Box. So the patrons, I already explained to them about the P.O. Box, but the P.O. Box, I looked into it, and it's literally about $75 for 6 months for a P.O. box that I could get packages in. It's going to be big enough for packages. So the Patreon account is going to help with that. So that breaks down to about $12.50 a month. And so I've already got 2 patrons. I'm almost at a point already where the Patreon account will pay for the P.O. box, so that's awesome. I appreciate that. Also, if you decide that you don't want to do a Patreon or a Patreon sign up and you don't want to donate that way, that's fine. I also have a link below for our Rewild Outdoors PayPal, so if you want to do some sort of donation that way, that's fine too. I appreciate it. If you don't want to donate, by all means, I appreciate you guys just watching and sharing the videos and liking them. So what I'd like to also ask you to do is everybody that watched this video, hit the like button for me right now. Just stop, hit that like button right now. I kind of would like to see what would happen to our channel if we have a ton of likes on this video. So that'd be really cool if you'd help me out and do that. But right now, the coffee just started boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and get this off and start making our breakfast. I'm going to go ahead and set that coffee off to the side right now and let it steep for a few minutes, and we're going to get our breakfast going. Let's get our food bag out real quick. So this morning for breakfast, I've got a Boy Scout kind of canteen mess kit. And I've got the ring to a mason jar lid. I'll show you how we're going to use that here in just a second. So for breakfast, in my little food bag here, I've got some bacon, a bagel, a little bit of shredded cheese, and a hard-boiled egg wrapped up in some tin foil to protect it. Or not a hard-boiled egg, a regular egg, not cooked at all, wrapped up in some tin foil to protect it. Now we're going to cook the bacon first, hopefully, and then let it render down so we can use the grease from it to cook the egg. Wouldn't that be smart? So, if you've never used one of these little mess kits before, they're actually really neat. So it comes out, you end up with a little plate here, and a little frying pan with a handle. Now we're going to see how well we can balance that frying pan on this Sterno stove. So I don't know how well that's going to work. We're going to try it though. As my wife would say, there's giblets in my pan. Actually, that came from her mom, Miss Linda. Miss Linda, I had giblets in my pan. Alright, we're going to get this thing on here and see what happens anyway. You know what? I'm going to put the bacon in it first. Wouldn't that be smart? Since it might be kind of hard to do. I brought 2 pieces of bacon cut in half. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, well, set one of these out of the way, or 2 of these out of the way. I'm going to just kind of smear this bacon around in here for a minute. I think I'm going to throw this piece in the creek there and see what happens. I know, I'm wasting bacon, but after I smear it around in here, I kind of don't want to fry it. So I'll throw it in the creek and see what happens. But I'm going to smear this around in here, get some of the fat in here. That way the bacon doesn't stick immediately. Okay, I'll break this thing apart. I'll just cut them in half like that. Hey, I brought my wooden spatula that I made to use, so that'll be cool. Man, it's really freaking nice out here. Alright, looks pretty good. Now, the trick is seeing whether or not this Sterno gets hot enough to fry some bacon. So I'm going to probably just stick this on here like this. Maybe I'll just pop the lid over it like that. Alright. We're going to let that cook for a few minutes and see how it works. Well, we've got some bacon frying, ladies and gentlemen. That Sterno is hot enough to fry this bacon with this little cook stove that I made. It's not a real fast process, but it's getting it done. Almost got this bacon done. It's got a little bit left to cook. I got here this morning, man, it was like 52 degrees. It was a little bit, just a little bit brisk, a little chill in the air. So I wore my overshirt here. But I'll tell you what, hiking in here, that sun's starting to come up good. It didn't take long for that to not be needed anymore. It's warmed up. It's supposed to be mid-80s today, I think. So, feels good out here right now, though. It's a beautiful little spot right here. The birds are singing. This is my cup that I actually burned moss in when I went to on the stealth camping trip. So I got out here and I actually forgot that I had done that and I hadn't cleaned it yet. So I got out here and I got some of the sand, scrubbed it real good, and then I got some of the water there, rinsed it up real good, and then let it sit here on the fire and get real hot, and then poured my coffee in it and everything. So it actually, it doesn't taste, I mean, you can't taste it at all. It doesn't have a taste to it. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. It's amazing how far the sound travels out here. Because like I said, I hiked in about a half a mile or so. And the traffic sound is actually a lot worse than I thought it would have been a half a mile away from the road up there. But, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to deal with it. You know, I don't like it though. I'd rather it be just quiet and have these birds singing. We're almost done on this bacon. Got my little wooden spatula that I carved. Oh yeah. So our bacon's done. I'm gonna set it on the plate. We'll get the eggs going. Okay, so I've got one of these rings from the top of a mason jar, and this thing is going to make a really cool egg. What we're going to do first, I'm going to take some of this bacon grease and I'm going to rub this thing down with bacon grease first so the egg doesn't stick to it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of set it in the corner and roll that thing around in there a little bit because that bacon grease is still hot. Like that. And we're going to set this thing kind of toward the back because I've got to balance it. I want it right over the fire. I'm going to let it get good and hot, and then we're going to put our egg in it. I'll put my egg in this piece of tin foil so it'll kind of give it some protection. Seemed like it worked anyway. No cracks. Worked. Now let's crack it. Now I'm going to bag everything up and take it with me. We're going to let that egg cook real slow because that's the only way to let it cook with this sterno. I'm actually very surprised about this sterno. It's actually worked really well so far. Okay, so it's working pretty good. The egg is cooking pretty good, but the top is not cooking through fast enough. I like it a little bit runny, but I need that top to kind of cure up a little bit. So I'm going to take this plastic bag and put it down here on the ground. I'm going to take my bacon. I'm getting away for a second. I'm going to take my bacon and put it on my plastic bag. And then I'm gonna take this and use it as a lid to kind of help maybe get those eggs to cook a little faster. We'll see if that works. Okay, let's check this thing out. Oh, she's looking pretty good now. I think I'm gonna let it go a few more minutes though. I like it a little more cooked than that. The other day when I came out here, I was shooting a short video for the Patreon page, and I was standing up there talking to the camera, and something started crashing through the brush, sounded like a freaking buffalo or something coming through there. And I looked down the creek line, and right down there I saw a huge wild boar launch from the bank into the water and swim up the other side. He had his bristles on his back all raised up, and he was a dark red color. He wasn't black like I would have expected. But yeah, he busted out there. I'm glad that that joker decided to go that way and not come after me, because it wouldn't have been good. I'm too fat to climb a tree, and I'm dang sure not going to try to run, so would have been bad. Okay, so I'm hearing some popping sounds. I'm thinking she might be done. Woo! Yes, sir. I'd say it's done. It popped my egg completely out of there. How about that? Alright, so I'm going to let this sit off to the side and cool off for a minute. I'll show you how that egg comes out of there, though. It's pretty neat. Alright, so I'm going to try to be real careful and not burn myself. So, this thing should pop right out of there. Ooh, I almost threw my egg on the ground. You see that? Alright, well, I'm going to leave that for now. Now, I think I'm going to set this aside, let this cool off, and I think I'm going to toast my bagel. See how that works. While that's toasting, I'm going to get my cheese ready. Got some little shredded Monterey Jack. Getting a little dark there. A little bit dark. I think that's good. I'm going to throw the bottom on there. Let that toast up. I think I'm going to go ahead and put my cheese on the top side. Maybe I'll save some. I'll put cheese top and bottom. What the heck? Spread that out a little bit. Spread the love, guys. And we're going to put some bacon on this bad boy. Like that. Let's throw this old egg on there. Like that. Look at that perfect little round egg. Are you kidding me? Now, I think I'm going to toast it a little more. Look. Look at this thing. Look at that egg. Pretty awesome. I'm going to put this other cheese on the bottom. I caught it on fire. Let's break that little piece off of there. I caught it on fire. Okay, so got cheese there. We add this bad boy to it. How about that? Bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. Right out here. Oh, that sucks. Right out here over the fire. Cooked on a Sterno stove. Pretty cool. I dropped a piece of my bacon, guys. Is that a party foul or what? Actually, it's not all that dirty. It's bacon. Not gonna let it go to waste. Look at this. Bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. Pretty awesome. Cooked right over a Sterno stove. I've been told that you can't use Sterno to actually cook with. It only gets hot enough to heat stuff up. It takes a while, but as you can see, it can be done. Alright, I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this bagel. I'll catch back up to you in just a few minutes. Well guys, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that was a restaurant quality bagel, but it was pretty dang close. That thing was delicious. Cooked on a Sterno stove, homemade, over the fire. It's pretty cool, man. That just goes to show you that you can cook on Sterno. It may not be the fastest thing in the world, but it can be done. I think I'm going to sit here and enjoy this for a few minutes. I saw a couple of guys walking down the bank here fishing, so I don't want to mess up their fishing. I think I'm going to go ahead and get this video wrapped up here pretty quick and get out of here so these guys can get down here and fish some. So I don't want to ruin it for them. But I want to thank you guys for watching the video. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And don't forget to ring that little notification bell. Share this video with your friends if you enjoy it. All those shares that I got, that helps out a ton. And like I said earlier, if you haven't, hit that like button. I'd like for everybody that watches it to hit the like button for me. Kind of want to see what it'll do to the analytics and see if it'll boost my channel up a little bit. Again, if you haven't, check out the Patreon. Check out our PayPal link if you want to donate. And thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.